My sister said she's glad my kids are gone because they would have turned out special, so I broke her face. My sister and I have never gotten along. My mother almost died giving birth to her, and because of this, she has been their miracle child. Even as kids, we would fight like cats and dogs on the best of days. There was a time when she pushed me down the stairs because I didn't want to lend her my jacket. I ended up with a sprained foot. My parents have always given her everything she's ever asked for, like when she asked to be enrolled in a private university that my parents can hardly afford. She has never had to work for anything, nor was she expected to follow the same rules as me when we were growing up, like going home by 5 p.m. and doing chores, or else I would have a lesser allowance. I've been in therapy for years, working through the resentment I had for her, and I've come a long way. Anyway, my husband and I had our first child almost 3 years ago after 5 years of trying and 3 miscarriages. My son is my parents' first grandchild. My parents adore him and spoil him rotten while respecting our boundaries. However, our son is nonverbal autistic. Meanwhile, my sister and brother-in-law have no children. My brother-in-law is in the Navy, and they have been moved all over the country. Now, on to the crazy. My sister and brother-in-law recently got new orders from the Navy to be stationed back on the mainland, though it was still across the country from where our family lives. They decided to come home to visit before they relocated since they hadn't seen family for a long time. My parents decided to throw a big family cookout so the family could come together and see them before they moved across the country again. I didn't want to go but knew it was important to my parents, so I decided to go anyway. My husband had to work, so I took my son to the party. Our whole extended family was there, as was my brother-in-law's immediate family. Everything was going great for the first hour we were there, but things started to go downhill when my sister came in, drinking a Red Bull. She set it down on the coffee table in the living room without even thinking about it. My dad saw this and mentioned that she might want to move her drink because small children were running around, and it could get knocked over. She said she would but never did. A little later, my son came running in, saw the shiny can on the table, and reached for it. He ended up dumping the whole can on the floor. My sister was pissed that her drink had been wasted. She looked at me and said I should clean up after my kid, but I replied, "Dad told you it would get knocked over. You should have moved it." My dad made my sister clean up the mess, which pissed her off even more. After that, she kept quietly making derogatory comments about my son to other family members, thinking that I couldn't hear them. I let the first few go, but after she called my son retarded to one of our cousins, so I'd had enough. I confronted her and told her that if she had something to say about me or my son, she could man up and say it to my face. She did get in my face and began screaming and cussing at me, saying that she wasn't surprised that my child turned out special and that it was a good thing that my first 3 kids died because I would have screwed them up too. I completely lost my poop. I don't think she was expecting me to retaliate because I punched her right in the face, and she went down hard. I'm not a violent person at all, but I do have limits, and I'm fiercely protective of my son. I told her, it was a good thing that you don't have a child because no one would like to be born inheriting your garbage personality. Her jaw dropped. My dad and 2 of my cousins stepped in and broke us up. My mom dragged my sister off into another room and began screaming at her for saying such horrible things about my son. I went outside with my cousins to cool off, and while talking to them, my brother-in-law came out to apologize on behalf of my sister. I told him I appreciated it but didn't want an apology from him, only one from my sister. He mentioned that he